alumni Ben Smith and Kaylee Funderburk are trying to get their workplace included on the National and State Historic Registry. Montevallo's Anagama kiln can reach temperatures of over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. In fact, it gets so hot that a layer of ash can turn into glass on top of pottery, and that's part of the reason why they use this type of kiln. Theater majors Cassandra Couch and Alana Angersano are telling their own impromptu version of a classic fairy tale.
What is some interesting theater thing that we haven't done here that I just want to do, something I want to try that's kind of easy, that doesn't need a lot of people to it? And I was like, shadow puppets. The very first theater thing I ever saw when I was a child was a Vietnamese shadow puppet show when I was like 4. I own an entire complete book of Grimm's fairy tales. And I had read them years before, and I was like, well, I'm gonna do my favorite one. I'm gonna do bearskin. That's really simple. So I was like, I want to do something with a deal with the devil in it.
To everyone who came and saw it, because I thought there were going to be like 5 whole people. Really great turnout.
I counted, it was about 55. 55 people came and saw it. We filled out this entire space all the way to the very back. I want to thank everybody who came and saw it. I want to thank the theater department for allowing me
us to do it.
Yeah, with no hassle, no struggle. It was fantastic, and I hope to do it again soon.
The housing staff put on their Housing Luau Wednesday, raising money for programs that will benefit the community and serving a free meal on Main Quad.
So the luau is a great way for the Montevallo community to come together, and we always have some sort of community service element. So we got all these donations, and we're asking students to bring in donations, canned food for the food pantry, so it benefits close to home. And so it's basically a way for the community to come together and just celebrate, the end of the year and being together and the year that they had on campus, and just come together as a community and help support each other and just have some fun. It also helps that the cat's closed.
In addition to the free food, Housing hosted a raffle with free stuff.
Next, we will be drawing for the candle! As a reminder, we do not burn candles in Housing.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to redraw for the water bottle. The water bottle! Woo! Get all the water you need!
Reporting for Valavision News, I'm Joseph Markel. The city of Montevallo holds an annual art festival called Artstock at the end of every October, giving local artists and vendors a chance to display their work.
It's good for students to get their stuff out. That's how I see it.
This year included a blacksmith and a guitar maker. Ultimately, the goal is to bring revenue in for local businesses and showcase our town's talent. The gathering receives support from the City of Montevallo and its Arts Council, as well as the university. At least from the students' perspective, it seems to be working.
Yeah, sold a pretty good bit today.
Bob Marley's art is sold.
Most importantly, the purpose of Artstock is to enrich the community. Reporting for Valavision News, I'm Joseph Markel. Up next on Valavision News, the City of Montevallo's Main Street makeover is almost finished. Hear from Mayor Holly Cost about how the project is wrapping up. The University of Montevallo has broken ground on its next major construction project. Last Thursday, President Dr. John Stewart, College of Fine Arts Dean Dr. Stephen Peters, and several other dignitaries and donors shoveled dirt at the ceremonial groundbreaking for the new Center for the Arts. The new multi-million-dollar facility will be built on the old Jeter site between campus and downtown. The Center for the Arts will feature a new theater, black box, and gallery space. It's scheduled to be completed in time for the fall 2019 semester. Civil rights groups are condemning Alabama Governor Kay Ivey's support for keeping Confederate statues and monuments up. The feud between President Trump and fired FBI Director James Comey has reached an extraordinarily public level. In an interview that aired Sunday night, Comey called Mr. Trump a serial liar who is morally unfit to be president.
Moral equivalents in Charlottesville, who talks about and treats women like they're pieces of meat, who lies constantly about matters big and small and insists the American people believe it, that person's not fit to be president of the United States on moral grounds.
President Trump sounded off in a series of tweets over the weekend, calling Comey slippery, not smart, and a slimeball. Former First Lady Barbara Bush is in failing health. The 92-year-old matriarch of the Bush family has been in and out of the hospital several times over the last year in a battle against COPD and congestive heart failure. Bush expressed that she doesn't want to go back to a hospital and is being cared for at her home in Houston. She's been married to former President George Herbert Walker Bush for 73 years. Now's your chance to binge watch Netflix and get paid for it. The company is looking to hire people to view, categorize, and rate their shows and movies. The position calls for people who are passionate about television and film and are deadline-oriented. The job is called editorial analyst and is now up on their website. No word yet on what the position pays. So would you be a Netflix binge watcher?
I would, because I binge watch already.
Oh, well, I can't sit still for like more than 45 minutes, so I think I wouldn't really like it. Net neutrality protections designed to foster a fair and open internet are set to end on April 23rd. The FCC voted last year to end the Obama-era regulations. Net neutrality bars internet providers from blocking or slowing down access to online content or prioritizing their own content. For example, it keeps providers like Comcast and AT&T from slowing down Netflix's speed in order to make their own streaming services more attractive. More than 20 states filed a lawsuit last month to stop the repeal. Schools in Kentucky and Oklahoma are closing because of protests from their teachers. In Kentucky, educators marched to the state capitol, protesting a controversial bill that passed the state legislature last week, which makes large changes to the state's pension system. After that bill passed, teachers called out of work last Friday, causing school closures across the state. Meanwhile, teachers in Oklahoma are rallying for more education funding and salaries. Several school districts across the state are closed because of the dispute, including Oklahoma City Public Schools. Many credit card users are not required to sign when they swipe anymore. Over the weekend, Visa stopped requiring merchants to collect customers' signatures during transactions. American Express, Discover, and MasterCard scrapped the practice Friday. One expert says that signatures are not considered a real deterrent to fraud anymore. That's partly because most people don't sign their full name anyway. But some merchants will still require you to sign because that's built into their credit card processing systems.